Ladies and gentlemen, we back. It's the King and I Life podcast. So Toucha, go with it, my man.
Sounds so Lex.
Check this out. We're talking about family trauma here.
Yes, sir.
Again, follow us on all those podcast platforms. Email us, KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Definitely want your feedback. Definitely want your feedback on this topic. Sponsors out there, if you want us to sponsor you, hit us up, email us, inbox us, call us, text us so we can make that connection. Got some good things coming up. Got several interviews coming, some follow-up interviews and stuff like that. But yeah, man, let's dive back into this. So why are we always told to pray about things like this instead of getting professional help?
That's something I have always pondered on. It just it amazes me that people would tell you to pray on something when you know your family is going through some major issues because of certain individuals.
Mm-hmm.
When 9 times out of 10, certain situations, authorities need to be called on these individuals,
Yeah.
but they want you to pray on it. What the is praying gonna do when the crime has already been committed? And
What
you asking me to forgive this person?
what is praying going
Oh,
to do if you're still in the situation?
and I said, pray your way through it. What are you? Are you nuts? Have you lost your ever loving freaking mind? Pray your way through it.
That's the one thing that I do not like about religion. Um, Prayer doesn't fix everything,
No.
and not fix everything. In situations like that, you telling me to pray, I might as well just talk to myself. Um, I really just might as well talk to myself because if I'm coming to you because something happened to me, and your answer is go pray, or you get down on your knees with me and pray, and then what you praying for, it's really not resonating with me because you're trying to pray for me to get better or have strength and this, that, and the other. No, nah, that's not it. This person over here is touching me or touching somebody, creating family trauma. You're talking about pray it away. No, can't. No, hell no.
Hell no, you can't. There's no amount of holy water that's gonna wash away some people's sins. I'm sorry, I don't.
Ain't no stack of Bibles either.
Nope. These people need to be thrown in jail.
Something.
You know, it just people need to realize it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't.
Yeah.
So when again a family member comes to you and tell you something like this has happened, true enough, everybody wants to say, you're innocent to proven guilty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your child or certain relatives, if they come to you and tell you there's an issue, there's damn sure an issue. They're not bullshitting with you. They're not, it's not a figment of their imagination.
Not again.
So I would rather be safe than sorry, meaning, i.e., investigate the situation myself. And if I find that, there's some things that are very questionable, I'm calling the authority.
Yeah.
If, well, I ain't gonna say if, but there gonna be some actions that are gonna happen. I'll put it to you like that. There gonna be some real actions and some real consequences. I promise you that.
Yeah. And I know we kind of hanging on the abuse part of it, but you also have to look at um like children who grow up in single parent homes who are pained or whatever the case may be because they don't know their other parent. Um, or they've seen, things in the family that happen, to blah, blah, blah. And, you can't tell somebody to pray. Like if like for me, growing up without a father, um, you can't tell me to pray for a motherfucker to come that ain't gonna never come. Like, help me understand. Like, I went 25 years of pray, cry, ask, try to talk, and get no answer from the people who have the answers. But you're telling me to pray? Like, ain't no answer coming from there. You know the answer. You have the information. Why don't you just give that information? Don't say pray. Um, and then if I'm having this conversation with you and you are not strong enough to have this conversation with me, don't tell me to pray. Get me some help. Direct me to somebody
Exactly.
who can give me the answers that I'm looking for, because obviously you are not equipped to do it. And that's another thing, instead of getting that help to deal with that family trauma, is be quiet. Nah, don't be quiet.
No. A lot of times with the victims, when they reach out and tell certain individuals within their family, they'll come to the victim now and say, you know what, I don't know if this happened to you for sure. You may be lying to me,
Yeah, that
but
big
I need you to keep this between me and you until I know a little bit more information.
right.
Don't tell your uncle or
Hmm.
your auntie or your grandmother or granddaddy. Just keep this between me and you for right now.
You
'Cause
know what's worse than that? Um, what's worse than that is, if you go to somebody that you think you can confide in, and they know that person is like that, and they downplay it to this person, and they either don't say anything to the person who's causing the problem, or they'll go to them and be like, such and such said this. I know you're not doing that. Oh, I know you're not doing that again. I thought you learned your come on, man.
Yep. You trying to talk to the person who's the actual abuser, trying to get them to rhyme and reason, as they say. No. No, evidently they have not changed their ways. They're not going to change their ways.
At all.
Um, or they'll throw it out. Maybe you need to go get some help,
Hmm.
but you're still not focusing on the person who has been abused.
Right.
Still trying to keep them hush hush. Like, how can you, as an individual, take a situation like that and not do the right thing? Yeah, it's gonna put a
Don't-
mark on your family. Who gives a damn?
It's more important.
We're talking about an individual, maybe a child who has to live with some bull crap the rest of their life. And the child doesn't get help.
Mm-mm.
Like, even if you take that other person and you remove them from the situation, you don't get that child help to help them, deal with the trauma of what has happened to them so that they have an understanding that you did nothing wrong.
Right.
You didn't bring this on yourself. And
Exactly.
there's so many situations where families go through this type of situations and nothing gets recorded, nothing gets done. Again, it's swept up underneath the rug.
Yep. It's crazy that it happens that way.
Yeah.
Crazy that it happens that way.
So if you experience uh, or experience trauma, what steps have you taken to not afflict yourself onto others, spouses, kids, and friends?
Um, for me, um, not repeat the things that have been done to me, or that I've observed, um, you know, I know myself well enough to know that if I'm feeling some type of way and it's negative and I have a negative effect on people around me, I will shut down and just move away from the situation because it's not going to be helpful to me or anybody else if I lash out on them because I'm having like a bad day from, something that struck my brain back when I was a kid. Um, but for the most part, a lot of the family trauma that I've experienced is pretty much a non-factor in my everyday life. And what I mean by that is I don't I've learned not to dwell on it. I've learned to not let it eat me. I've learned that it's not productive. Um, I've learned that if I exhibit that behavior, it's only, especially like to my kids, if I exhibit that behavior to them or around them, the only thing it's going to do is cause them to exhibit that behavior. So a lot of those things I will not do. Um, with my kids, I try my best to let them know that, if anything is going on with them, no matter what it is, feel free to talk to me about anything. I will listen. I got your back. And those are things that I never had growing up. It's always, like when I was molested, I said something about it. I got laughed at. Um, you know, and for me, that was like, oh damn, laughing, funny. But then I have to look at the the times and the circumstances, and when you are around people who, and this is another layer to it. When you're around people who are more interested in getting high and drunk than to pay attention to what the hell their child is telling them, you have that other layer of this problem of family trauma, because addicts are problems for their children. And I can't stand drug addicts. I don't like addicts. Um, I understand that, you know, being politically correct, they say it's a disease, but at some point, you gotta want to help your damn self. And I feel like if you don't want to help yourself, you just don't give two shits. And that's just where I stand on that. And I don't give a damn what anybody thinks about that.
Oh, hell no. Um, I would say for me, growing up and experiencing some of the family trauma uh, that I've gone through in my life, um, and again, uh, not being in a space where I can say my parents fully understood some of the shit I would do at a young age. Again, thinking this young man is just crying out for attention.
Mm,
Like, again, they never stopped to ask questions like, why are you acting like this?
mm,
What's going on with you? Been in a situation where I've had to see other family members fight other family members
mm.
uh, because of alcohol, or I can't say drugs were that big of a factor, but hell, to me, alcohol or alcoholics, that shit is a fucking drug.
It is. It
But
is.
anyway, just watching things like that as a young child, as far as violence, and you know some of those situations, like, you don't know how to compute that shit. You
Right.
don't know how to handle it or address it, um, because again, you're a child.
Mhm.
So the adults during that time for me, Um, again, I think they were all in that party
Yeah.
mode. Like party, 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 whatever that means as far as like going out and not being at home. I can't tell you how many times I was left at my goddamn grandmama and granddaddy house and shit.
Right.
But I think the only thing that really helped me uh, through those times was the fact that there were so many other cousins I had, like so many other cousins. If I had to put it into a number without counting everybody up, probably like 16, 17 cousins
Hmm.
at my grandparents' house. But having those many cousins around me to help me forget about all the drama and the bullshit I was actually witnessing
Hmm.
as a child. That was basically my saving grace.
Hmm.
But again, when you grow up and you watch certain relationships between adults happen, and you're not fully aware of what, like seeing somebody, a male whoop a female's ass.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I seeing this?
Right. Exactly.
But anyway, as an adult, one of the things that also helped me to get through some of the traumas in my life was I was able to go see a psychiatrist.
Mm.
Um, and I will tell you, it definitely helped me
Mm.
because I was carrying around a lot of things I wasn't even supposed to be fucking carrying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things I was not even supposed to be carrying, and um, thank God I found the right psychiatrist that helped me to work through my issues, and I realized that um, it put me in a better mind space,
Right.
where I was able to actually um, forgive myself and grow from that point on,
Right.
and realize the things that happened to me I had no control over. So you can't punish yourself for things that happen to you that you have no control over.
Yeah. It's true. So do you, like you said, forgive yourself? Do you feel like you needed to forgive yourself or the people who were around you that were responsible for you feeling that way?
I think it was the combination of the both. I mean, for me, I had mom issues.
Hmm.
Like I know that my father was doing a lot with the military, but my mom, you're there. You're supposed to be my protector. Um, but yeah, to a certain degree, you're not. You're leaving me with my grandparents while you and your sisters and brothers and your friends go out and fucking party.
Right.
So I just had to come to the realization that I can't blame my mother because she didn't know what was going on.
Mm.
She was brought up in an environment where you know that was the norm. So her not being mature enough at the time to realize what's going on, and seeing me um, observe some of the craziness that happens around my grandparents' house. Um, I just had to realize, she wasn't mature enough to realize what was going on, and how can you keep hating someone, or well, not hating, but holding a grudge against someone that didn't know what was going on. So
So,
that part of it I had to release, and then the violence that I was a witness to. I realized that these people were not um, fully cognitive of what they were actually passing on to the younger generation. So I had to let that go, and then me not wanting to let anyone into my circle, so to speak, or
Mhm.
let anyone get too close to me. That part, I would say, was the biggest part of it.
Mm.
Getting over the I guess the letting go of the anger issues I had. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
but anyway, make a long story short, I just had to take everything that I was holding in and just release it
Mm.
because I realized that how big of a role it was playing in my life. I was being very destructive to a certain degree.
Right.
When it came down to having females in my life, I was like, shit, you expendable. You are expendable because I'm not gonna let you get close to me.
Yeah. Oh man, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah. You know, hearing you say that, it hits on so many levels because, you know, like you, I got mommy issues. And for me, my mother is my biggest source of pain, my biggest source of um, bitterness. Um, you know, and ironically, even though I've been molested by men and women, I still feel safer around women, but um, I don't too much allow too many of them get too close to me. Um, one reason is because of my experiences, but another reason is, you know, it's just something about certain ones that they do certain things that just make me say, you know what? I gotta back up and watch you because I don't trust your intentions. Um,
Right.
it's easy for anybody to say, well, you've been through X, Y, and Z, and that's why you act like this, that, and the other. But one component that people probably don't even acknowledge is that woman or that other man or whoever that people deal with, you got to understand that they might have some family trauma that's causing them to act that way as well. And if this person, like for me, I don't have a problem talking about my family trauma, but you might have somebody else who is not open enough to talk about their family trauma, but you can notice certain things about it, and it's like it's a red flag. You might back up, or you might be in your own little world because of your family trauma that has you acting a certain way, and that person does something, you back off from them, and like you were saying, females become expendable to a degree. Um, they need to understand that you know you might be doing something that triggers something in my brain, and it might be because you're doing something that triggers something in your brain and you don't recognize it. And that whole dynamic right there is either causing someone to fall back because of family trauma or run away from things that remind them of their family trauma.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like I say, I say once I got past my teenage years, like once I actually, well, I ain't gonna say that entirely, but the I'll say from like 19 to maybe like 23, somewhere around there. That's when I really worked through the majority of my issues on my own. I think I didn't start going to see a psychiatrist until I was maybe like 20, 25 or 26, something like that.
Mm.
Um, but I noticed there's a pattern with me
Mhm.
of basically not um, once again allowing females to get that close to me, and then realizing, that I have this pattern of making women fall in love with me, and then when they ask for more, I get rid of their ass, and
Deuce.
they are they're wondering, like, what did I do wrong? And
Yeah,
I'm like, nope, I don't trust women like that.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's a defense mechanism.
yeah, it is. It definitely is. Knowing that, I was raised in an environment where, again, I have, oh shit, like 7 or 8 aunties,
Hmm.
and then my mom, and then the other. Well, my grandma had 15 kids. No, she had 17 kids altogether, but um, 15 survived. The other two uh, passed away as infants. But anyway, everybody else were males, and um, having two of my uncles. Having two of my uncles pass away at a very young age,
Hmm.
and watching all that shit happen, not fully understanding death,
Right.
um, all that plays a role, because no one explained to me what happened to my uncles.
Right.
They were just there and then gone.
Hmm.
But anyways, they were killed in a car accident,
Hmm.
and one name Charles, one name was Junebug. But that trauma of not having anyone explain to me what happened to my uncles, that played a role,
Right. Right. Yeah.
because you're so used to seeing these people in your life every day,
Mhm.
and then the next thing you know, they're gone.
Yeah.
And no one pulls you to the side, as a kid, and say, this is what happened to your uncles. This is why they're not going to be here anymore. But again, these are all issues that stemmed and played a role in my life as a young man growing up.
Hmm. Yeah.
And again, thank God I had enough fortitude to actually seek help for it.
Right.
But I think a lot of times people, they don't get how big of a role they play in kids' lives. Like, again, with the whole protecting kids and things along that line, you have to do that,
Mm.
because it's going to play a role in their life.
Yeah. Whew. Man. I've never experienced loss like that. Um, but the thing that tears me up inside to this fucking day, I mean, like I could be in my fucking car driving and fucking tears would just jump from my goddamn eyes because my family is so broken. Um, like meet my uncles, my father's brothers, until after my father died, and that was back in like 97. And you know what really fucking like like really, really, really hurt me was the fact that they fucking knew me. Um, I didn't know them. The only person on my father's side that I knew, the only three people on my father's side that I knew, I didn't even know they was my real fucking cousins, was my cousin Vanessa, her sister Carla, and her only three fucking people that I knew on my father's side. And I didn't know that they were really my cousins because I grew up with being told they was family friends. Um, so to finally meet my father at the age of 25, which was probably back in 95, 96 area. Um, no, he didn't die in 96, he died in 2007. Um, so he dies in 2007. Um, I meet his brothers. I was okay with him dying. I came to terms with it. On his deathbed, I told him um, I forgive him, and took his last breath. But the thing that broke me down, broke my heart the most was we was all together at one of my family members' house, and my uncle had the audacity to say, "You should change your last name to the family's last name." That fucked me up. It still fucks me up to this day,
Wow.
because um, I've grown up carrying my mother's married last name, which was Holmes, from the time I could remember all the way up to ninth grade in high school when they said you have to use your last name. And let me tell you, on every fucking document that I can find, other than a birth certificate and a fucking passport from those younger years, says King Holmes on all my school shit. In high school, from high school till I graduated, all my paperwork said King Landy. I never used my real fucking last name on my own until I got on my fucking own.
Wow.
And it fucking hurts. That type of fucking family trauma fucking hurts. And hurts deep, hurts deep to this fucking day. Yeah.
Well, everybody, whew,
The heavy
me and
one.
my, me and my brother have pretty much bared our souls to you guys on this topic.
We're not finished yet, man. We still got to pick it up. But you know, time got on us, but ooh, man.
Yeah, yeah. This is this isn't over. We definitely got more to talk about on this subject. Um, but you guys stay tuned, man. This King of High Life podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms. You can actually find us on YouTube and Facebook. But please, on YouTube, please hit that like, share, and subscribe. Please help us to expand upon the information we're trying to get out there.
Yes. Forget my past, I got some hurtful ways. King and I Life podcast. I can't turn the page, and I take shit step by step, but what's behind the shade?